Nice. Let's take a moment of silence here. Let's pray a little minute. You just want some nice ambiance, you know? Alright, so let's get started, right? Merry Christmas, Happy Festivus. Alright, so I hope everybody's having a Merry Good Christmas or Festivus or Kwanzaa or whatever the hell you want to call it, whatever you're doing right now. Quarantining or dilly-dallying, I don't know what you're doing. But I hope it's going good. Alright. Yeah, I got a quote for you from Peter Albarad. He's a French priest, scholastic philosopher. And he said that commercials are not that great. No, I did that. But he said, God considered not action, but the spirit of the action. It is the intention, not the deed, wherein the merit of praise of the doer consists. Right? That's why it's the heart, not, you know what I mean? A lot of times people, like smart people and good people, can kind of make some mistakes or whatever, but, you know, it's in the heart, right? That's why it's always good to have a pure heart, good, right? Have your light shine bright in the world, right? And then I lost my other one. No, I didn't. All right. It's nice, huh? Yeah, it is. All right. So, and then the other one is from Lord Action, John E. Dahlberg. He's an English historian. That was horrible. Another free one. I'll give you another free one today. He's too from Lord Action. He said, "Great men are almost always bad men, even when they exercise influence and not the authority. Still, more when they superadd the tendency of the certainty of corruption of authority." And then the other one is, "There is no worse heresy than that of the office sanctifies the holder of it. That is the point at which the negation of Catholicism and the negation of liberalism meet and keep high festival, and the end learns to justify the means." Then the other one is from Joseph Addison, which, by the way, is named after the Addison disease is named after, and Johnny K had that, by the way. So I got to smoke a little bit of that, you know. English essayist and a poet. A day, an hour of virtuous liberty is worth a whole entirety of bondage. Okay? Just remember that. That's why we need to open up America, get back to work, and get back to normalcy. Whatever you want to call that. It's 3, 4 clothes. It's alright. No, I'm gonna read you a little story from William Butler Yeats. It's news for the Delphic Oracle. There all the golden codgers lay, there the silver dew, and the great water sighed for love, and the wind sighed too. Man picker knife leant and sighed by oasin on the grass. There sighed a man, amid his core of love, tall Pythagoras. Plotinus came and looked about, the salt flakes on his breast, and having stretched and yawned a while, lay sighing like the rest. Straddling each a dolphin's back, and steadied by a fin, those innocents relived their death, their wounds open again. The ecstatic waters laugh because their cries are sweet and strange, though their ancestral patterns dance. And the brute dolphins plunge until in some cliff-sheltered bay, where waves of the choir of love, proffering its sacred laurel crowns, they pitch their burdens off. Slim adolescence that a nymph has stripped. Phaeus and Thyatis stare. Her limbs are delicate as an eyelid. Love has blinded him with tears. But Thyatis' belly listens down the mountain's walls, from where pain's cavern is, intolerable music falls. Foul goat head, brutal and arm appear, belly, shoulder, bum, flash fish-like nymphs and satyrs. Copulate in the foam. That kind of got naughty in the end, huh? Alright. Here's another one. This one's kind of funny. Alright. Let me give it to you, sushi raw here. Shaw, you know what I mean? That sushi theory, that raw theory, we give it to you. Just give it to you. Serve it up. Here you go. Alright, this is by A.E. Hausman. Terrence, this is stupid stuff. Terrence, this is stupid stuff. You eat your victuals fast enough. There can't be much amiss. This clear. To see the rate you drink your beer. But oh God, good Lord, the verse you make, it gives a chap the belly ache. The cow, the old cow, she is dead. It sleeps well, the orange head. We poor lads, this our turn now. To hear such tunes as killed the cow. Pretty friendship, this to rhyme. Your friendship to death before their time. Moping melancholy mad. Come pipe a tune to dance to lad. Why, if this dancing you would be, there's brisker pipes than poetry. Say for what were hop yards meant? Or why was Burton built on Trent? Oh, many a peer of England brews livelier liquor than the Muse, and malt does more than Milton can to justify God's ways to man. Ale, man's ale, the stuff to drink, for fellows whom it hurts to think. Look into the pewter's pot, to see the world's as the world's not. And faith, this pleasant till this past, the mischief is that that this will not last. Oh, I have been to Ludlow Fair, and left my necktie God knows where, and carried halfway home, or near, pints and quarts of Ludlow beer. Then the world seemed none so bad, and I myself a sterling lad, and down in lovely muck I've lain, the muck in the mire. Happy till I woke again, then I saw the morning sky. Hi-oh, the tale was all a lie. The world, it was old. The world, it was the old world yet. My things were wet, and nothing now remained to do, but began the game anew. Therefore, since the world has still much good, but much less good till then ill, and while the sun and moon endure, luck's a chance, but trouble sure, I'd face it as a wise man would, and train for ill and not for good. This true, the stuff I bring for sale, is not so brisk a brew as ale, out a stem that scored the hand. I wrung it in a weary land, but take it off if the smack is sour, the better for the embittered hour. It should do good to heart and head, when your soul is in my soul's stead, and I will friend you, if I may, in the dark and cloudy day. Hey friends. There was a king reigned in the east. There, when kings still sit to feast, they get their fill before they think. With poisoned meat and poisoned drink, he gathered all that springs to birth from the many venomed earth. For a little thence to more, he sampled all her killing store. And easy, smiling, seasoned sound. State the king, when when Hills went around, they put arsenic in his meat and stared aghast to watch him eat. They poured strychnine in his cup. And shook to see him drink it up. They shook, they stared as white their shirt. Them, it was their poisoned hurt. I tell the tale that I heard told. Mithridates, he died old. Should I give you another one for Christmas? Many ingenious, lovely things. This one is by William Butler Yeats again. This one is 1919. Many ingenious, lovely things are gone that seemed sheer miracle to the multitude, protected from the circle of the moon. That pitches common things about. There stood, amid the ornamental bronze and stone, an ancient image made of olive wood, and gone are Fides' famous ivories, and all of the golden grasshoppers and bees. We too had many pretty toys when young, a lot indifferent to blame or praise, to bribe or threat, habits that were made old wrong, melt down as it were wax in the sun's rays, public opinion ripening for so long. We thought it would outlive all future days. Oh, what fine thought we had, because we thought that the worst rogues and rascals had died out. All teeth were drawn, all ancient tricks unlearned, and a great army but a showing thing. What matter that no cannon had been turned into a plowshare, parliament and king, that thought that unless a little power burned, the trumpeters might burst with trumpeting, and yet all lacking all glory. And, perchance, the guardsmen's drowsy charges would not prance. Like Prancer, the reindeer, on Christmas, me comes down, woo, you know what I'm saying? Prance. Now that days are dragon-ridden, the nightmare rides upon sleep. A drunken soldiery can leave the mother murdered at her door, to crawl in her own blood, and go scot-free. The night can sweat with terror as before. We pierced our thoughts into philosophy, and planned to bring the world under a rule. Who are but weasels fighting in a hole? I thought only rabbits went in holes. No rabbits, there's no weasels too going in a hole. There's something new every day. He who can read the signs nor seek unmanned into a half deceit of some intoxicant from shallow's wits. Who knows no work can stand, whether health, wealth, or peace of mind were spent on master's work of intelligence or hand. No honor leave its mighty monument. He has but one comfort left. All triumph would but break upon the ghastly solitude. But is there any comfort to be found? Man is in love, and loves what vanishes. What more is there to say? What country round? None dared admit, if such a thought were his, incendiary or bigot could be found to burn that stump on the acrophilus, or break in a bit of famous ivories, or traffic in the grasshoppers or bees. Remember when you used to drive down there? Like, I remember when I was a kid. Remember when you used to drive on the highway or the streets, you'd be driving a car, right? And all those bugs would be hitting the windshield and be like the Bee Movie. Remember that? Like the Bee Movie? Remember that? You don't see that anymore? Where'd all the bugs go? Where'd they go? They just avoid that area? They just adapted, like, weird. I just wonder where all the bugs are. So, just curious. When low feelers Chinese dancers wound a shining web, a floating ribbon of cloth, it seemed that a dragon of air had fallen among dancers and had whirled them around, or hurried them off in its own furious path. So the Platonic year whirls out new right and wrong, whirls in the old instead. All men are dancers, and their tread goes to the barbarous clangor of a gong. Some moralist or mythological poet compares the solitary soul to a swan. I am satisfied with that, satisfied if a troubled mirror show it, before that brief gleam of its lie be gone, an image of its state, the wings have spread for flight, the breast thus out in pride, whether to play or to ride, those winds that clamor of approaching night. A man in its own secret meditation is lost amid the labyrinth that he has made. In art or politics, some Platonist affirms that in the station where we should cast off body and trade, the ancient habit sticks, and that if our works could but vanish with our breath, that were a lucky death, for triumph can but mar our solitude. The swan has leapt into the desolate heaven. That image can bring wildness, bring a rage. To end all things, to end, with my laborious life imagined, even the half-imagined, the half-written page. Oh, but we dreamed to mend whatever mischief seemed to afflict mankind, but now that winds of winter blow, learned that we were cracked patterned when we dreamed. We who 7 years ago talked of honor and of truth, shrink with pleasure if we show the weasel's twist, the weasel's tooth. Come, let us mock at the great that had such burdens on the mind, and toiled so hard and late, to leave some monument behind, nor thought of the leveling wind. Come, let us mock at the wise, with all those calendars whereon they fix old aching eyes. They never saw how seasons run, and how but gaped at the sun. Come, let us mock at the good, that fancied goodness might be gay, and stick to solitude might proclaim a holiday. Wind shrieked, and where are they? Mockers after that would not lift a hand, maybe to help good, wise, or great, to bar that soul storm out, for we traffic in mockery. Violence upon the roads, violence of horses, some few have handsome riders, and gnarled on delicate sensitive ear or tossing mane, but wearied running around and round in their courses, all break and vanish, and evil gathers head. Herodis' daughters have returned again, and sudden blast of dusty wind, and after thunder of feet, tumult of images, their purpose in the labyrinth of the wind. And should some crazy hand dare touch a daughter, all turn and amorous cries and angry cries, according to the wind, for all are blind. But now wind drops, dust settles, thereupon there lurches past his great eyes without thought, under the shadow of stupid straw pale locks. That insolent friend, Robert Addison, to whom love lorn Lady Keitler brought bronze peacock feathers, red combs of her cocks. Got kind of... Ooh! Oh, that's William Butler Yeats, guys. That was... unexpected. But now for Christmas, I'm gonna read you a little Christmas story here. All right? It's all American Christmas here. Might say it's the first American Christmas.